Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am so excited for this video because we are finally going to be doing a first impression with the Klarity Cosmetics Blue Royal Palette. This is a really cute 6-pan blue monochromatic eyeshadow palette. Just looks like this. I was super drawn to this color story because I do enjoy blue and I thought there was some really nice matte options, some really pretty shimmer options, and Klarity Cosmetics is a brand that I've been wanting to try their eyeshadow formula. I have a bunch of their liquid lipsticks. I think I have like 2 glosses from them and I really like them. Unfortunately, they've discontinued some of my favorite shades, but I'd never tried their eyeshadow formula until today. Quickly, let's talk about some details on the palette. It does retail for $30, which I feel like is a pretty good price considering it feels like it's kind of a heavier palette. It's overall nice packaging. I feel like the front is like, it's okay. It's not like super cute or speaking to me, but it does have a mirror and it's bigger pans, so I feel like the price is not bad. I pre-ordered this palette on January 7th and it was supposed to ship in the beginning of March, and I didn't get it until the last week of April. I know things happened outside of the brand's control and there was shipment delays, and I completely understand that. My one critique here is that I had to like go on their Instagram and search out the information. I feel like because it had been such a long wait, it would have been nice for them to do a mass email to everyone who had pre-ordered the palette, just explaining what was going on, why it was being delayed, just kind of reassuring customers. I mean, I'm pretty patient when it comes to pre-orders. I did look for the updates, but to actually have to manually search it out when it took a month and a half longer than expected, I think isn't the best practice. So I would have loved to see an email. I did just want to include a little bit of my customer experience. So let's go ahead and do some swatches. The first shade we have here is called Teal Me, and I originally thought that this was a matte from the promo photos. Now that I've seen it in person, I did go back and look, and I guess I should have just been looking closer because it's a matte with a glitter finish through it, which is definitely one of my pet peeves. I really don't like eyeshadows that have that like extra sparkly glitter because you can literally just tap them out. I feel like they don't even look pretty on the eyes. Me personally, just maybe it's an unpopular opinion, but I just don't like glitter sparkles in a matte shade. So there's what Teal Me looks like. And then next we have the shade Blue Diamond. That one is really pigmented, but it does feel a little bit drier to the touch. Next we have the shade Oasis. This is like a really deep teal matte. I really love this color. So next we have the shade Sapphire, and I feel like this shade almost looks a little bit odd in the palette because when you're looking at it in person, it really just looks like Blue Diamond all over again, except with a little bit of a light gold and then a deeper gold metallic foil, which I'm not sure how far that goes through the pan. I'll be curious to see, but it looks like this one's just a bit more sparkly, but the base shade is so similar. If you do that top layer, it literally just comes off. It doesn't look like that's through the shadow. So I feel like, yes, it's crazy, it's a different color right now, but when you get through that top layer, it's just going to be like pretty much the exact same shade as Blue Diamond, which is quite disappointing in my opinion. So there's what it looks like all mixed together. I mean, it's a pretty shade, very messy. I think at the end of the video, I am going to go ahead and kind of scrape off the top layer here and just see how close it ends up looking to Blue Diamond. But now let's go ahead and swatch Peacock, which is a really deep matte navy blue. Again, I really like the tone of this color. Super nice deep matte blue. And last but not least, we have the shade Bluetiful, which is a very nice, like super metallic teal. I think that's like the prettiest shade. So there's all of the swatches. I feel like they look really beautiful together. I'm gonna wait and hold back my thoughts until we do the tutorial so you can kind of see me go through the motions of trying it, but I do think that it's a pretty color story. So I already primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and I'm gonna jump into this shade right here, which is called Teal Me. My gosh, look at the amount of kickback. That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and like tap off the excess, hopefully get rid of some of the sparkles as well, so I can use this as a matte shade. I'm gonna go ahead and run that through my crease. Slowly adding a bit more as I go, really blending it out. I honestly feel like, I don't know if you can tell, it's blending a little bit patchy, so I'm going to go into a bit of a more precise tapered brush and keep using that shade. Just going to build it up in my crease a little bit. I cannot believe how much kickback there is. Oh goodness, okay, I'm going to just put it right here and see if I can get this to look a little bit more seamless. Okay, well, I feel like that looks a little bit better. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this deep blue right here called Oasis. Again, there's quite a lot of kickback, so I'm going to go ahead and dust off the brush and then place that in my outer V. Pretty pigmented. Really pretty shade of matte blue. I'm going to lightly dust off that brush and then I'm just going to go back over the crease and make sure that's all blended. Okay, now I'm going to take the deepest matte shade right here called Peacock and I'm going to put that on my outer V. Oh, that's so pretty. Just adding a little bit extra depth. That is a very, very pigmented color. And then again, just going in with my previous brush. I'm also going to take a little bit of that shade along my lower lash line. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Blue Diamond. That metallic has way less kickback, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that on the middle. Oh my gosh, okay, pigmented of my lower lash line. Getting some fallout from that, but I may have went in with too much. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Sapphire and I'm going to kind of mix it together a little bit and I'm going to pop that on the inside right here. Now for my lid, I'm going to go into this shade right here called Beautiful, which is so pretty. It looks like the most stunning lid shade. I'm actually going to try it dry without a glitter glue first just to give it a chance because I've never played with this formula before. Alright, so I went ahead and picked a bunch up and I'm just going to go ahead and tap that. Oh no, fallout. Tap that all over the lid. I mean, the color is absolutely stunning, but it is just kind of like a satin. I'm going to go ahead and spray that. I feel like that's making it look less pigmented. That's so strange. I feel like that's so strange. Spraying it had almost no effect on the finish at all. I think I'm going to go ahead, just use a little bit on my finger. Tap that over. I'm going to go back into the brush I used for my outer V and just lightly blend. For my inner corner, I'm going to go ahead and take Glow from Cliona. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and finish up my eyes with the Linda Hallberg Cool Mood pencil in my waterline, throw on some mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, for highlighter today, I'm going to go into the Danessa Myricks in Light Highlighter in the shade Aura of Light. Just going to pop that on the tops of my cheekbones. Such a pretty highlight. For lips today, I'm going to go into the Sydney Grace Lip Cream in the shade Shaylee. Alright, so this is the finished look. I do like how it turned out, so let's talk about my thoughts on the palette so far. I mentioned this in the beginning, but I went ahead and quickly kind of cleaned up Sapphire a little bit, and I got rid of the top layer just to see what was underneath, and it looks like there might be just a tiny bit of speckles throughout it, but I went ahead and did swatches of both of the blue shades. So this is Blue Diamond, and this is Sapphire. Blue Diamond, Sapphire. I feel like they're probably the exact same shade except one had the speckles throughout it. So honestly, I don't know if I'm being petty by going through and like kind of like taking off the top layer, but I just feel like it's such a waste in a palette to only have 6 shades and to have 2 that are so exactly the same. Realistically, if you're buying this palette and you use Sapphire the first maybe 10 times, yeah, it's a different color, but then the next 100 times, 150 times after that, it's the exact same shade as Blue Diamond. So that's, I'm not a fan of that, and I feel like I'm so messy, and I actually ran out of makeup wipes, so like I'm a mess. Try not to judge me too much, but I feel like overall I'm very disappointed by this palette. I feel like it has the potential to be so good, like it's so close to being what I would want it to be, but there's just so many things that are like, not my favorite, not my favorite. It's like, should I have even bought this palette in the first place? So to start off with Heal Me, I know this is just a first impression, but I know myself, I know what I like in shadows, and this is one of those shades where it's a matte with sparkles through it, and I feel like you can sit there there and like dust off the sparkles every time, and it's not so bad. It looks like I could use it in the crease, but I just don't understand. I just don't like formulas like that, and like I said, this is on me because if I had looked super close in the original pictures I would have noticed, but I thought that shade was a matte shade, which is why I thought it was so perfect, because it's like you have a really nice transition and then you have two different deeper shades, and I just thought that was a great balance. But this having sparkles in it is not my favorite. And then as far as the metallic formula goes, I feel like Beautiful is really pretty, and it will definitely be better applied with the finger because the finger picks up the creaminess a bit more. I find this shade Blue Diamond to be a little bit more dry to the touch. It's pretty, but I definitely have formulas that I like more in that same shade with other brands. Like the mattes Peacock and Oasis are both really, really beautiful, very stunning. I feel like they blended great. They're very deep, and I like that about them, but they are so messy. It's ridiculous. Like, so much kickback on all three of these shades, even more than the Menagerie kickback. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, it is a crazy amount. I feel like I have kickback all over me, and I'm like constantly tapping off the brush. I still got a bunch of blue fallout, and I was super careful, which kickback for me is not the end of the world, but this is just like probably the most intense kickback I've ever seen. So I feel like it's so cute in theory, but actually using it and reaching for it, I just don't know if it's the perfect palette for me, unfortunately. I had pretty high hopes for this one, but overall I just feel very like about it, and it's kind of already a product regret, which stinks so much on first impression. So definitely let me know if you'd like to see me do more looks with it, what you'd like to see out of this palette. So I'll try and use it more, but that's just my thoughts so far at this moment. I would love to know if you've tried any eyeshadows from Klarity Cosmetics, how you liked them. I'd also love to get some more feedback about how you feel about these two shades and the overlay and them being the same when the overlay's gone. Does it matter to you? Do you think it doesn't matter because the overlay could stay mixed in if you didn't get rid of it like me? I'd love to hear your opinions, but that's everything for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to hear more about indie makeup from me, definitely make sure to hit subscribe before you go, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I don't even want to mention what Teresa is Dead would say about me right now, okay? All right, bye.